Is must-have number 4 in setting up a successful BDC that's going to be around today and in the future? It's this. Must-have number 4 is BDCs must have strict rules for what counts as a valid appointment. This is important. See, you might think you're being nice or even that you're driving incremental business for your dealership when you allow your BDC to set soft appointments, but you're not. In fact, you're costing them and you money, and here's how. When you have soft appointment rules, and I've seen this, like paying a BDC agent for appointment that shows a day early. I've actually seen that where BDC agents were paid if an appointment arrived within 24 hours of the scheduled time. So if I set an appointment for, say, 9:15 Friday morning and that prospect bops on in at 8 p.m. Thursday night and I'm the BDC agent, I get paid for that. I should never be paid for that because that's not a true appointment. If someone arrives that early for their appointment, we can't prepare for it. We should never pay for it. And I've actually seen this more often than the alternative, which is strict appointment times. I also see this a lot. Dealers give BDCs credit for a sold unit because they had quote unquote meaningful contact with the prospect within the last 72 hours. This also allows them to set soft appointments. In fact, it encourages them to not even ask for the appointment. It encourages them to say things like, when would you like to come in? And the prospect invariably says, well, I can be in there Saturday. What time do y'all open? And the BDC agent says, well, we open at 9 a.m. What time can I put you down for? And the prospect says, I'll be in around 10. So the BDC agent happily puts 10:15 Saturday as an appointment in the CRM, when in fact that isn't an appointment, when in fact that prospect's not going to show up, but they don't care because they're covered for 72 hours after having that meaningful contact, or they're covered within 24 hours either side of that appointment time. Fact is that prospect's not going to show. See, you're actually hurting your sales and paychecks of the BDC agents when you allow them to set soft appointments. Unless you have strict rules in place for what constitutes a valid appointment. Now, my choice is this, is to only count a valid appointment if the prospect arrives within 45 minutes of the scheduled appointment time, either within 45 minutes before or after the scheduled appointment time. Now, that gives your team an hour and a half, which in some cases I think is too much. In fact, dealers who follow the perfect appointment, those dealers get 90% of their shows within 10 minutes either side of the appointment time. But look, let's call it a compromise. I'll count a valid appointment if the prospect arrives within 45 minutes either side of the appointment time. Now, unless you put strict rules in place for what counts as a valid appointment, and I mean tightening it up to 45 minutes or less either way, unless you do that, your BDC will never have the discipline to pin a prospect down on a specific time. Why should they pin them down, right? That takes work. It's sometimes uncomfortable, right? And they're going to get paid either way, right? See, that's why they won't be firm on the phone with their prospect. Imagine this. This happens all the time. Let's say your BDC tries to set the appointment the right way. They say, you know what? I've got a 5:45 and a 6:15. Which one works better for you? And the prospect says, I don't know when I can come in. How late y'all open? If I'm paid on soft appointments, I'm going to say we're open till 9. And the prospect will say, great, I'll be in before 9. The BDC agent will say, great. And they'll put in a 7 o'clock appointment, right? They're going to get paid no matter what. Fact of the matter is that prospect's not going to show. It takes work. It's sometimes uncomfortable to pin them down. And when the prospect says, I don't know what time I can come in, how late y'all open, it's important for the BDC agent to respond with something like, well, we're open till 9 o'clock, but my last test drive on that Camry is for 7:15. Now I've got a 6:45 and I've got a 7:15. Which one of those works better for you? See, it's sometimes hard to pin the prospect down, but you know what? That's the only way that they're going to show up for their appointment. When you allow them to set soft appointments, you need to understand they're not making more money. They're making less money because the prospect isn't going to show up. When your team allows a customer to say something like, I'll be in there before 9, there's almost no chance that this appointment is going to show because it's not an appointment. A true appointment requires both a specific day and a specific time. Without a specific time, there's no mental commitment by the prospect to show up, so they generally will not. Now, once you force your team to start setting stronger appointments by paying them only for those that arrive within 45 minutes, their show rates are going to multiply, as will your sold units.